All right, Morgan, this is it. We are live. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Morgan is in the house. All right. So we crash land into another slice of pie tipsy Tuesday. I'm so glad to have you. For those of y'all who are joining, welcome, welcome, and want to hear from y'all in the chat. So this episode, I am so first of all, you will be inspired and all y'all will be encouraged and all of that. But I want to just start out by saying, first of all, I am so excited and humbled that you're here. For those of y'all who are watching this, you're going to get to meet someone who's doing incredible things. She's an actual business owner, a successful one in Brunswick, Georgia. And just on behalf of the entire community, I just want to make sure I said thank you for everything that you're doing. We want to hear your story, how you got started, where you are today, where you're going, and any nuggets and tips that you could share for folks who are looking to build out. Y'all, Morgan is in the house.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, first of all, tell us a little bit about your business and where you are, and realize that you're actually in your brick and mortar store, right? Y'all, a brick and mortar store. So tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, Mo Lashes and Mo started just as Mo Lashes in 2019. I was working for AT&T at 21, and I was selling lashes out of a shoebox. So I really just started this business, knowing that I wanted to ultimately sell hair full time, but I had to start somewhere. So I started with lashes, and we ran with that for a while. And every few months I added something new. But last year, I had a dream that I was in a beauty supply store. I didn't know where I was. Last February, I had a dream that I was just walking up and down aisles of a beauty supply store. I had no clue where I was, and I woke up and
Wow.
the light bulb went off, and I just kind of put everything that I was working on and working, with. I just kind of put that all together. It was like plugging a wall charger into a socket. It just made sense for me to do that. It wasn't something that was here in my area, and I felt like it was needed in the African American community.
Wow. So first of all, you hit a few things. You talked about manifesting, right? So a lot of times people are trying to figure out, what their purpose is. And quite frankly, there's a lot of folks who spend a lot of years trying to make sense of what their actual purpose is. And here you are literally living it out in what you're doing. I think what makes you so different is that you took the leap, and a lot of folks won't take the risk. But you took the leap, and you took the risk, and obviously it is very successful. So if I'm a customer, what can I experience coming to your store?
Being a customer here, it's funny because they all do the same thing. They are My customers are always excited to come in here, and they are always leaving inspired. So
Mm,
if you're coming into my store, I'm going to always make sure I tell you something inspiring to make you just keep going in whatever direction you see fit. So my customers know they get a level of customer service. If there's something that I don't have, they will come back.
mm.
They will come back. But a lot of my customers are people I went to school with, classmates, old friends, teachers, family members, people I have no earthly idea who they are. Just I have a lot of I have a diverse customer base. And it's not just here in Brunswick. So I definitely thank all of my customers that are state to state, my customers that I ship to, my customers that I see when I go back home to Atlanta. So I'm so grateful for them. But my customers just always leave with a great impression of me. I just try to make sure that I leave my mark.
Mm.
Transaction that I'm in.
I love that. So Tina, thank you for this. Tina, she's saying that you have the best natural hair products. So we probably want to hear a little bit about what those hair products look like, and if you're in that, if you're in Brunswick, is being in your store the only way right now that you can access your products?
So excuse me. The products that Miss Tina is talking about, which I love her. Thank you so much. She loves my gels that are in my store. Mo Lashes and Mo, we are working on expanding our products as far as chemical based natural hair care products. You are able to always reach out to me if you are wanting something as far as natural hair care products. We are still tweaking our website to have everything that we have in store online. But she loves every time Miss Tina is in town, she comes into my store. She loves coming into Mo Lashes. She has been a Mo Lashes supporter since before I cut the ribbon to this place. Okay.
Wow.
But I'm so grateful to have people like her. Because she put me with a person such as yourself. So I'm super grateful.
Oh, I think so. I'm dropping the link, y'all, to her website, though you can go and find out some more information about the store and keep in touch and make sure that you're getting updates on products. But thank you, Tina, for that shout out, and for whoever else is in the room, because we can't see y'all. We can see who's, it's StreamYard, so we can't see everybody. So we appreciate. By the way, make sure you like this video so we can keep coming back. So I want to ask, so Morgan, a couple of things that we're talking about before we went live, is unsolicited advice. So I'm trying to put into context for those of y'all who are not familiar with Morgan. For those of us who, when you know, and for y'all who don't know, you're about to know. So I have the benefit of knowing, and y'all are about to know. Okay, so we don't bring any lightweight on this show. let me just start there. All right. So Morgan has a tremendous. She's an influencer. She has a tremendous following, and she has a successful business. And as someone who is over 50 and trying to shift into purpose, I want to find out from you, like, where does your confidence come from? Because even being able to, you were working in a corporate role, and most of us, like, you go into a corporate job, you just stay there until you retire and maybe get a gold watch, right? So where did that confidence come from that you would say, I'm going to even consider doing this, and how do you keep yourself inspired?
Well, I've always seen myself as a boss. Even when I was a kid, I was always telling people, I always tell my mom I ran a show. I was the youngest of four in her, I was the youngest of four in her house. So our eyes were always on me. So I've always told my mom, I want to be the boss. I like to be able to call my own shots. I watched my mom call her own shots. My mom had a mortgage business when I was in elementary school. So I watched my mom. I watched her be a boss. I watched her, say, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And, I fell in love with that. I fell in love with creating my own hours, or just the thought of, I always tell myself, I want to be able to walk in a room and people know who I am when I walk inside. I don't want to have to second guess. I want people to know who I am, and I want them to know that this is who I am. My confidence comes from just me working on myself. I don't think anybody else can give you a level of confidence besides yourself. That's something I truly work on, because I am a very tall statued female. So that's something that I've had to work on, over time. I've really come out of my shell a lot, because if you truly know me, I can be reserved at times, and I don't like a lot of attention at times. But I've worked on this business, which has also enhanced my confidence. So it's a lot of things that you have to work on personally while working on a business, because your business reflects you. So I just feel like me working on my confidence, I have to be on point. What keeps me going is how I see myself. I see myself owning a warehouse by 30. That's how I see myself.
Oh, wow. So can you hear me okay? Because I think I lost sound. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. And I can't hear you. So I'm following along.
Okay.
Because I think we lost you on the audio. But I just wanted to throw this up real quickly. Her bloodline. is filled with bosses, couldn't help but succeed. And I think that's a nod to your mom, who's also a successful realtor. If I have it right, do I have it right?
Yes.
So we're gonna give a shout out to mom.
Yes.
All right. So one of the things that I was thinking about is when it comes to advice, was there a time where you were getting advice from folks who have not, done this business before? And how do you manage that when you're getting unsolicited advice? You're like, y'all, I don't need to hear all that.
All of the advice is always good. Well, not always, but it's cool to hear. But sometimes people just don't know like what it's really like to be a business owner. And business owners already have a list of 1,000,001 things that we want to accomplish, that we want to have in our budget, that we want to pay for, that we want to have, that we want to, that we want to continue to do every year. So it's like sometimes coming from a younger person, because I'm only 25, so coming from someone such as myself in the younger generation, it's like, you're telling me something I already know. So it's like, but getting unsolicited business is like, you have those people that give their opinions, and then you have people that give their unsolicited opinion. I feel like it's a difference. And me and my mom, we always have these conversations behind closed doors, and it's like you have people that become very opinionated in a business that they can't even begin to tell me how to run. So I always tell my mom, if they want to have anything else to say, tell them they make sure they put our names on the check so we can cash it. So, but I truly feel that it does come from a good place from people. I do understand how they view me. I do understand how they see me. But sometimes it can become a lot because business owners are already going through a lot. And business owners, this is a trying time for business owners. We're in the middle of a pandemic still. People don't realize that, but it's definitely still in the middle of a pandemic. And this pandemic has brought out millions of business owners, but it is still a trying time. And everyone has their opinions and their advice, but it's like people give their opinions and advice and then don't support the Black-owned businesses.
Appreciate that. All right, so let me just look at the. Okay, there's some highs, and for some reason I'm not able to hear you, but I am reading your lips, and I think folks can hear you. So I'm just gonna switch my audio real quick just to make sure it's not just me. But you can hear me, okay?
Yes.
All right, devil is a lie. We're gonna keep this moving. So, all right. So, another question I had for you was for maybe younger people who are thinking about, how to move into business. How to, so there's, I think of like the way that we look at our professional and career development, all that stuff is kind of thrown out the window now for folks who are much younger than me. Like the way that we traditionally went into the workforce is just not the same. And even the opportunities that, a lot of folks, they don't have the opportunity, to work and build, again, a brick and mortar. It's very, very different, y'all. This is not drop shipping stuff off of Alibaba and putting up a storefront. This is literally a brick and mortar store. So I wonder if you could share a little bit more about what kind of planning or what, like a strategy, or what are the things that you had to overcome just to make it happen for your brick and mortar store?
So a lot of things that I had to do for my brick and mortar store, I never thought that I would be in this position at my age. Let's just start there. I never would have thought in a million years, because like I said, this business has been nothing but trial and error since I have started this business. And when I started the beauty supply portion, it was kind of drop shipping, but my customers would send their inventory list in and I would turn their inventory list into a beauty box. But once I saw the answers and the outcome, I'm like, no, there's no way that I can just continue to accept an inventory list and we just, whatever. No, I have to turn this into a business. I have to turn this into something physical because it's something that like I said, our community did not have a black owned beauty supply store here until now. you know so there's a lot of planning, there's a lot of things that I strategically come up with in my mind myself. There is a lot of private vendors that I work with, and shout out to my overseas teams.
Mm.
So grateful for them. And I have my hands in a lot of overseas work. So I'm so grateful for them. Every last vendor that I have overseas, every last vendor that I have in the States. My team, each and every team, they play a great role in what they do. From the beauty supplies down to the hair extensions, down to even when I want to sell clothes from time to time. Everybody has a magnificent role in Mo Lashes and Mo Beauty, the beauty supply store. So strategically is, so a lot of people ask me, how do I do it? But
Yeah.
I kind of feel like sometimes my mind is, I don't have a problem with critical thinking under pressure. Um,
Mm.
I don't have that problem. When my back is against the wall or when I want to see an outcome, I always, persevere. I'm always, it's always a strive. So I guess what I'm more so really trying to say is a lot of my thoughts and a lot of my thinking comes when I'm asleep, honestly. And that's why a lot of people don't understand that I have to have time for myself. I have to have time to decompress because when I'm decompressing and I'm in my own bubble, I have so many creative thoughts. I get a lot of my creative thoughts at night, a lot of them. So, and I'm so grateful because, throughout the day, my mind is, I'm at work, I'm a business owner, but it's crazy because the moment I leave out of here, an idea is like right there. But strategically, when it comes to the beauty supply portion, I had no idea that I can get my hands on something on things like this. I had no idea.
Wow.
Manufactured products. I had no idea that I could do that until I did it. And once I did it, and once I started putting my own money into it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is where we're going. And now I have my mom who's probably about to go crazy every day of the week, putting up with me. And the grand store, because this is a grand store. This store is of my kid, so it's like her grandchild. Okay,
Yeah.
so she's with everything. If I say, Mom, I want to do this, and I want to do it like this, she's gonna make sure my vision comes out. However I see it. But there's a lot of tactics and a lot of thinking that goes behind this. This is not something that you can just put together. Like I said, I wanted to be selling hair full time by the time that I was 25. Here I am, 25, selling hair,
Mm.
but I had to start somewhere. I had to start selling those lashes out of that size 11 Adidas box. I had to start somewhere. But here we are now, and how I see this place times 30. I want a warehouse, so I see that for myself.
Man, I love that. There's a conversation I like to have with my close friends. A couple of them are on this call, but I talk a lot about owning your own vision. It is your vision. It is your vision, and no one else can see it. And I always caution folks that when you have a vision, that you can't expect anybody else to articulate it for you, right? Nobody else is seeing it,
Mm-mm.
and you better make sure you put a plan behind that vision to actually turn into something. So for a lot of people who are seeing where you are today, like even just attending your 1 year anniversary, which was okay, y'all. I wasn't physically there, but I was there, okay, because there were photos, and I was like, yes, yes, and yes. But watching the community come around and fully support you, and all of the impact that you've made just in 1 year with your brick and mortar, and all the lives that you've already touched, that is humongous. That to me is why there's such a swell of support and a sense of pride from even folks who are not physically where you are, but we're all impacted by everything that you do. And I love that you talk about strategy, because I just want to make sure people know that there's a plan behind this. I totally get the waking up. My I call it my call hours between me and God. Y'all should know I am that girl, okay? But my call hours with the Lord is sometime between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. And that's when, that's when things are popping, right? You can't control it, but you better hold on for the ride. So I'm curious, because I would love to see day in the lives things. I love to follow and stalk people on YouTube if y'all haven't figured it out yet. So, any thoughts about like coming into the YouTube platform and doing like vlogs, and that way, those of us who are not physically there can be a part of your journey. Any thoughts about that, and when can we expect that from you?
So, I haven't named my vlogging business yet. I don't know what you would call that. I have my YouTube channel.
Yes.
I do have a YouTube channel. I would love to start vlogging inside of this store about what's it like being me for a day, or what's it like being a young entrepreneur and a young business owner. What's it like during inventory days, because inventory days is crazy up in here. Okay. But I want other people to see that I am normal, just like you, just like any other 21-year-old, 22-year-old, 23-year-old, 24-year-old. I don't expect people, well, I don't really like people to treat me any different because of, my job title. But, and I let people know my job is a business. You might work a 9 to 5, which is cool, but I wanted to change my job, so I don't really like people to treat me any different because of that. But I would love for other people to just see that what's it like being a business owner. There are so many girls that I inspire, and I had no clue. And I would love to be able to speak to those young women to just allow them to see, you got to start from somewhere. I don't care if you're doing hair out of a kitchen, hair in a basement. I don't care if you're doing lashes on top of a roof. You have to start somewhere, and I'm so grateful for my humble beginnings, because I still have the shoebox that I was selling my lashes out of. I still keep that box because it's humble beginnings. It showed me how I started. It shows me how I started this business. I took $250 from a check when I was working for AT&T. That's how I started this business, with $250. I would love to be able to allow other people to hear my story. So a YouTube channel is definitely in the making, like I would say within the next 2 months.
Okay, because I'm gonna be subscribing, liking, loving for all the influencer speaks. We'll be doing all of that.
Yes.
And when that goes live, we're gonna want to make sure that we also have a link so that we encourage people to go and follow. Because I'm for a vlog.
Yeah,
I
would love to start vlogging. It's something that I've been thinking about all year, and I'm not gonna lie. I've sat on the idea only because I really didn't know how to approach it. And I like to take my time when it comes to something like this, only because I know what it could possibly do for my business. So I would want it to be, I want the timing to be right. The timing is has a lot to do with who I am now and where I am today. Like the timing, God's timing, everything made sense when He put me where He put me. When He put me where He put me. and I know that as an adult now, everything happens for a reason. Everything down to our personal life, and how that can bounce off your personal life into your business life. A lot of things happen to me personally, but getting this place. I'm grateful that God has taken my family through those highs and lows, because all in all, I feel like it was a sacrifice. So I am so grateful to be here at 25. So if I can do it at 25, I know that your daughter can do it at 20. So I know that the next person can do it at 30. And I know the next person can do it at 40 or 50. It's just all in how you see yourself. I saw something so big for myself at such a young age. I've always thought highly of myself. I always thought highly of my future. And that's something that we have to make sure that we instill into kids at a young age. We have to want to be able to boost their confidence at a young age, because if you're not boosting what they like or what they want to do, you're not guiding them down you're not guiding them. If you're not boosting if I have a kid, my kid loves to draw. Okay, I want to put you in every type of drawing workshop I can find. I want to make sure that your skills are sharp. We have to do that at a young age. I just feel like if we prep kids right, them following and chasing their dreams won't be a problem.
That's hitting home. So for every mama who's in this room, I'm telling you right now, that is hitting home for me, because I was, having this conversation with a couple of other moms, and talking about, like, when your kid tells you this is what they love, to this very, very point. And this is why I'm so glad, y'all, Morgan's coming back to talk to our teen audience later this week, to share some of the jewels that she's dropping right now. Is as a parent, though, for grandparents or friends of a kid, or whatever the relationship you have, if you know that there's a child that has a promise attached to them, whatever it looks like, singing, drawing, whatever it is to encourage that, because that is their actual purpose. Not going the route of telling them or dictating what we want them to do, because it is not for us to say. So that point hits home, Morgan. It is no wonder why you're successful at what you're doing. It's because you're actually, y'all, this is what walking in your purpose looks like, right? And it's not that it's easy, right? So, it does take work. So what are some of the things that you've had to overcome just with yourself in order to align with what you're doing? Any, personal challenges that you've kind of overcome, but just to make sure that, hey, I'm doing this thing.
A lot of things I had to overcome. I am a student of Albany State University. Shout out to the Golden Ram. And in 2018, I came home for the summertime like normal. And I found out I flunked out of school.
Ooh.
I flunked out of school. I failed 2 classes in 1 semester. And I didn't know I was not going back to school until it was time to go back to school. That was one of the most hardest pills I had to swallow. Only because I had just graduated with an associate's degree at 20. So that was a humbling experience, because, if I would have never flunked out of those classes, I probably wouldn't even be here today. I probably would not be in my position right now, and I'm so grateful, because God has a way of making you laugh.
Yes.
He has a way of making you cry,
Yes.
So I thank God for that. And my mom, she pushes me so hard. Like, I want you to be back in school. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. And I understand exactly where she's coming from. And I do want to finish school. I do. However, if I wouldn't have flunked out of those classes, I would not be the entrepreneur that I am today. Me flunking out of my classes is what really pushed me. What really pushed me to be here. And it really pushed me to really start getting that research together to start my business. But a lot of family adversity, came towards us, last year. And my brother having to leave us to go and serve some time, which was very difficult for me, because, like I said, I am the youngest of 4. And when it comes to my family or my siblings, period, when it comes to them, the emotions, I feel like I hold a lot of those emotions. So a lot of things came together for me, shortly after my brother left. It was so fast. Everything happened so fast. I didn't know if I should be happy that I was in this position. I didn't know if I should cry because my brother just left me. I don't know what I felt confused. I felt I don't know,
Yeah.
So, just going through my own personal things. And, once I flunked out of school, I became extremely depressed,
Mm.
and that was something that I had never experienced, you know, I felt like I've never experienced depression until my early 20s, but and it's something that we don't talk about a lot. It's
Yeah.
something that the Black community doesn't talk about a lot, and it was something that, you bring up depression, your parents are like, oh, don't claim that. We don't claim that in here. And
Yeah. Or you're just sad,
it's
or
just
just get over it.
just
Yeah.
a bad day. But it took my cousin to tell me, hey, we got to go get you some help. We got to go. We got to do something, And from that point on, from me getting out of that depressing stage, everything just kind of clicked and made sense, early then when I was about 20 or 21, So I got a job at AT&T, and it seems like everything else just kind of worked in my favor when it came to my business. When I launched my business Black Friday of 2019, it took off. I was selling out of lashes every week.
Wow.
I was selling out of lashes every week. And those same lash customers that I had now are now my beauty supply store customers. And I'm so grateful. There's a lot of adversity that comes, and there's still a lot of adversity that I deal with now because I am young and I am human, so you just have to go. Yeah. I admire myself because of how I can just balance and go, and I am able to shift.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. I'm able to
Yeah.
shift with a lot of adversity because I faced adversity young. I faced adversity as a child. I watched my mom struggle with 4 kids. That's not always easy. It's not easy. It's not easy being a parent. I'm not a parent, but I watched my mom be a parent. And that's not easy. So facing adversity young, you know how to move and curve and swift, and you know how to hustle, you know how to get out the mud, you know how to do certain things early. So a lot of my mindset comes from my childhood, and my upbringing, and I am so grateful to have an amazing support team that I have here in Brunswick, and in general, in period. But I am so glad to know that at the end of the day, I do inspire people, and that is such a great feeling. That is such a great feeling.
That, yeah, it's when you're walking in your purpose, but your whole purpose is supporting somebody else's purpose by the fact that you're being obedient and following through,
Yeah.
y'all. And them's the key. That's the jewel. That's the takeaway. Is it's not, don't look at Morgan's end game because it is flawless and y'all can't have it. Okay. Don't even try. Do not try to compete. Okay. But just take the words of wisdom that she's sharing. Yeah, absolutely. Somebody just dropped it in chat. Purpose. And once you receive who you are, I say this, when you receive, I believe who my father, I'm talking about God, y'all. I believe who my father says I am. I believe it. I absolutely believe it. I own it. I love it. I'm his favorite. And that's just the way it is, right? But there's just something about being able to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
Not just to walk through some things, but obviously overcoming. And it does take work. And I love the point you made about depression in the African American community. Yeah. And I'm West Indian, and we grew up being told, if you're sad, you just gotta feel better, right? Like there's a checklist or like a easy fix. But there's a couple of comments in here I want to call out. I think this is to your mom. That Karen is a praying woman and she covers all of her children. Thank you, Miss Karen. We appreciate that. And here's your mom. Obedience is the key to walking in your.
Yes.
Every single time, obedience yields rewards. Obedience yields rewards. Obedience yields reward. And another comment about you being an overcomer, which is exactly what you are, and people being drawn to you. That's also a part of the purpose, right? That's just a part of the personality package that you got.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm grateful for that though. Every day I'm not always in the best mood every day. I try to be, but once again, I am human, and every day isn't the best day, but I'm here. You know, you have to show up. You definitely have to be in here. So even the days today was a day, you know, like I did not feel my best, but I had to be in here.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I am so glad to know that people do gravitate to my store. There's a lot of people that come in, and, you know, I have customers that come in just to vent because they feel like this place is anointed. When they walk in, they feel there's something in here that they feel. And, you know, there's a lot of my customers that come in one way and then tell me as they're leaving that they feel inspired. I've had customers that walked out of here crying. I mean, bawling. I mean, I have customers that come in here that feel so inspired. I'm talking about elderly people that are probably about to get ready to retire. I've had customers coming here telling in different races. You know, I'm glad to know that my store is not just for African American people.
Yeah.
I have, you know, different people that come in here, and I am grateful for that. You know, so just to know that I can inspire people that look like me, people that also doesn't look like me, is a plus.
That's awesome. What would you? I'm watching the time. We're coming close, y'all. I know it's dinner time. Y'all just bear because I can't let her go. I gotta ask her more questions. So what would you want to be remembered as or by? Like, how do you want to be remembered?
I don't know if I can say that on here. I just want to be remembered for knocking down every barrier that is in front of me.
Yeah.
You know, by 30, I want to be doing something that I couldn't even see myself doing. I couldn't see myself doing this, but I want to be like fire.
Yes.
I want to be like fire. I want to be like a wildfire in California. I want to be able to spread. Like, I want to be remembered for doing everything I said I wanted to do. I want to be remembered for accomplishing everything I said I wanted to accomplish by when I said I want to accomplish it by. I want to be remembered for being my outspoken self, being my emotional self, because people like to say that I'm emotional. I'm just passionate and they don't understand that, and that's fine. But I want to be remembered for just being myself throughout this whole ordeal. I think that's what gravitates a lot of people to me as well, because I'm still myself. You know, I will walk in Walmart just as normal can be. And, you know, a lot of people gravitate to me. I don't know, sometimes if you look on my Facebook and you're in quotation, because people really do notice me, you know, so that's such a big adjustment that I've had to get, you know, used to. But I just want to be remembered for just me being young and doing my own thing and being in my own lane. You know, I've created a lane for myself. This is my lane. I have the lane of Mo Lashes and Mo. I've created something. I've created a brand. I've created a business. I want to be able to create an empire, you know, so I just see a lot of things for myself. I want to accomplish, you know, by the time I start having kids, I want my kids to say, that's my mom. The same way I am with my mom, I want my kids to be excited to tell people that's my mom. I want people to be excited. I want my kids to be excited to say, that's my mom's job. You know, that's my mommy's warehouse, you know? So I just want to be remembered for doing a lot of different things, you know?
Oh my God. Y'all, I'm trying not to get my glasses foggy and start crying on the live, y'all. But that was what we needed. Our soul needed that. Our soul. I think for those of y'all who are gonna watch the replay, I know this is gonna hit you in a different. I told you, every time people come on this live, people's lives get changed in some way, shape, or another. And I know in my gut, I know it in my heart that somebody needed this message. And for you, whoever this is on the replay, whose life is going to be changed because of what you just heard coming from Morgan, y'all go out and light the world on fire. Yes. This has been incredible. Now, we know you're coming back later this week. So for all of y'all who are here, come on back on Thursday. Don't leave this room without hitting the like button or subscribing so that you can get the notification and all that YouTube speak. If you're watching us on LinkedIn or Facebook and Twitter, we appreciate you. Come on back on Thursday. We're going to be able to have my co-host, Isabella Jeffcoat, talk more about depression and talking to teens, talking about giving them tips about overcoming things, inspiration, all the inspiration and encouragement. So we're so excited to have you back this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Y'all bring your kids. Yes. Bring your kids, bring your family, bring your dogs, family dog, bring everybody, and come on back on Thursday. Yes. So
my website, I'm sorry, my website has a 20% off sale that ends tomorrow for all hair extensions and wig units.
Let me drop that link again. Hold on now. We for discounts.
Yes. Also, if you use the code 1 year, you will receive 20% off. Also, my website offers Afterpay. So if you want a good quality wig unit, you can definitely find that on molasesandmo.net.
Oh, I love that. There's also, so you guys know, there's an online catalog where you can see closures and frontals and wig units and bundles, and the clothing are really cute. I saw the backpacks that you have for kids. They were fast.
Yes, that was amazing. All of my shipping customers that were state to state. We shipped to Texas. We shipped I think I shipped to Alabama, the Carolinas. I just shipped to Virginia. I am so grateful to have those customers. Those out-of-state customers, they keep us going as well. So I'm so grateful. Yes, you can. That link is definitely down there for you to purchase a wig. I have great quality wigs. My website is fully stocked.
I love that. And you can also sign up so that you can stay in the loop on her site. That way you can make sure you sign up and follow the social media channels. There's also amazing pictures that if y'all are like me and you like stalking, see what people doing, go follow her on social media. Join the thousands who are already following her. Be a part of the group. And we are so grateful for you, Morgan. Morgan, hang out for a few minutes in the back room. We're going to tell these folks goodbye, and we'll see y'all on Thursday. Yes. Thank you guys for supporting Morgan. We love all of you. Thank you so much. All right. Deuces, y'all.